Yo, we up in here, y'all. We up in here, y'all. Already know what time it is, fellas. The links are definitely in the chat area. Hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App link, hit the Rumble link, and hit the Patreon link, fellas. When you go over to Rumble, remember, you download the Rumble app. It's KC. Excuse me, drinking his water. It's KC, the Red Pill Alpha, debunker on Rumble. And when you go join the Patreon, fellas, remember, get up on that $10 tier, which is my most prominent tier. Also, you can join that 7-day free trial, which is great in like what, 1 day, 2 days. I'm great. Go ahead and take it off. So go ahead and join that Patreon, get that work, fellas. You get constant. I mean, guaranteed, certified A+ game over there. So go and join, fellas. You know, Trend Trader in the building. What's up? We say, what's good, Casey? What's good with the Trend Trader? We back up in here. You know what we do, fellas. Hit the banner at the bottom of the screen, y'all. Hit the banner. Go join me on the Gmail. Go fuck with me in the Gmail. RailsFargo12 at gmail.com. That's RailsFargo12 at gmail.com. Or you can get at me on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Real Rails FA1. Like, share, and subscribe. Fair use. Enjoy the show. Once again, hit the notification bell so you can be alerted on these videos. Every 2 to 3 days, always refresh that notification bell, fellas. Hit the super chat membership button, fellas, and let's keep the game going like we always do. Let's get to this. Oh yeah, he called her cheating, fellas. He called her in the act like a motherfucker, broke everything down to her, and where he went wrong. See, he spilled out everything he went wrong. He moved her into his place, right? Rel even knew the bitch, got her a ring, and I mean, you dudes, hold up. Got to acknowledge the chat area. Pedro and this motherfucker. Pedro, the New Era Music. What's up, Casey? I was laughing on yesterday. Love, LOL, bro had 2 beds to feel better after the bitch ghosted him. Yeah, that was crazy right there, bro. And he up here crying with a gold ass do rag on. I said, this nigga's weird. You know what I'm saying? But this is what dudes do, man. You know, they don't establish, and this is what we got coming up now. Always establish what you want beforehand, fellas, and we're gonna speak on that. And this is where he fell wrong at. Even though we're gonna get to the video, but we're gonna get back to what you were saying, Pedro. This is where he fell wrong. You got to establish what you want beforehand, before even linking up with her or bringing her over to your place. If you don't establish what you want, fellas, then you already know what time it is. There's a greater chance that she's gonna waste your time. And we know time is everything to men. Time is nothing to a bitch. Real shit, especially if she can waste yours. She got all day and all night long to play with you. They got no problem with it. You know what I'm saying? Pedro, he said, what's up, Trend Trader? Trend Trader, Pedro. Trend Trader, yeah, that dude was capping, though, low keys simply sympathy play. Yeah. You say he was capping? Well, who was capping? You talking about homie in the room? That was it. You say he was capping? I don't know. I don't know if he was capping. If you talking about that, I don't know if he was lying or not, bro. Hey, bro, you be surprised, bro. I do consultations all the time, bro. I talk to guys all the time, bro. They always make this mistake. This ain't just the guy that you see on the video. He said gold rag. Yeah. This ain't just the guy that you. Okay, I knew you was talking about him. This ain't just a guy that's just on the video, fellas. I get guys all the time. It's no different from going out. Like I had a guy before, fellas. It's a place up here called Eddie V's Prime Steak, like a steakhouse prime place. It's kind of on a high end level on the plaza area, and in Kansas City, Missouri. And it was a guy. He hit old girl up, linked up with, set the date and all that. She was cool with it. He went on through the day. When he set the date up with her, he talked to the chick all day and all night, basically. Talked to the chick back and forth, basically. And then the next day, he ended up talking to the chick all the way up to like 1 a.m. He said they skipped like a day of talking, but they did text each other a couple times that day where they skipped the day of talking. And I think the next day or the day after that was the day of the date. And he already set it up for them to go to Eddie V's, the Prime Steakhouse and everything. He went over there, made reservations, or he called in or whatever he did to make reservations. Chick didn't even show up, but he thought he was hooked. He thought everything was in. He thought he had a hook, line, and sinker simply because he was communicating with her and she was showing him interest. You know what I'm saying? She was talking freaky to him on the phone. Oh man, I had a plan with her shit, man, on the FaceTime and all type of shit. But he thought he was in, but you ain't in, fellas. And shouts out to I think Lucario now, bad boy. Remember the bad boy dude, Lucario. This is Lucario. The game theory, real game no theory. I think Lucario said it, and it's true though, fellas, because my pops always said this, and this is how I know. Some guys do speak the game, and they speak what's real. My pops always said this, and when I heard Lucario say it, I'm like, okay, he knows what's up because I heard this from my pops back when I was younger. You ain't never in the game. You ain't never in the picture, fellas. You ain't never in like you think you in, fellas, unless you in, which means unless you up in that motherfucker, unless you hidden. You know what I'm saying? So never think that you got everything under wraps and everything under control, fellas, when you ain't never hit it. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't hitting that motherfucker, then you ain't really in. You can be played, manipulated, deceived. It can be a perception, everything leading up to what you think is gonna go on and don't nothing go on. I hear this from guys all the time. I almost had it, man. Man, damn, bro. Man, oh girl, I'm telling you, but her sister was hating, or her mama said so, or something. It was something that came up. You know what I'm saying? No, it ain't nothing that came up. She didn't want to do it. Trust me. Because if she wanted to do it, she'll break all rules, laws, regulations, and codes, fellas, to get to you. There's no other way around it. You know what I'm saying? Trend trader. Read the TikTok comment. Bitches came at him left and right. They did. I ain't see it on TikTok. I had to go on TikTok and check. I had the video, so I looked at it. I didn't know that it was posted on TikTok. Now I'm gonna have to go check it out. Damn. They got it like that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it out. I know you. I'll be on TikTok. I'll be scrolling through there, so I'm quite sure it'll pop up. You know what I'm saying? That's cold. He said facts. That's how it is, fellas. So always remember that, fellas. If you ain't in that motherfucker, you ain't in them guts, nigga, then you ain't in. You could be in her house. You could be sitting down with her next to her, finger popping. She could be whacking you all. Y'all could be, getting this oral thing popping to where y'all touching each other on some physical shit. But if you ain't in, you are not in. Remember that. And that's real shit, bro. That's real. I've heard my pop say it. I've heard different OGs say it when I came up. Because, I was the dude who thought that way when I was young, 15, 16. Damn, my mom almost had it, man. Her mama was tripping. Or damn, man, she couldn't get a babysitter. Or come up for the excuse on, basically intertwining and piggybacking off this bitch excuse. When all along she's lying. You know what I'm saying? And I had to grow older to know and deal with multiple women and have women ghost me and also have women not ghost me and come through right off the back. I'd had chicks come through when I met them. Like I go to a bar or something with the homies or whatever, or go link up somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Or do what I do at a mall or whatever, not meet a chick. Chick come through 2-3 hours later, I'm making it happen. So if these chicks are doing this shit expedient like that because they into me sexually, what makes you think the rest of them won't do it? Yeah, they all will do it, fellas. They just know when they're gonna do it, when they don't want to do it. If they can play games, they're gonna, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be bullshit. They know when they doing their shit. They know what it is. You just gotta know what it is. You gotta recognize the bullshit. Catch it where's it at, fellas, and dump the shit off. Let her go. Don't be the dude to play the games. And she may she may double back and make shit happen for you. You know what I'm saying? She may not. Who knows, right? But one thing for sure, two things for certain. You don't fall for the bullshit. And as long as you ain't falling for the bullshit, you can live to see another day with your game and you can learn more. Everything is about learning, fellas. Don't ever drop the learning. Don't ever drop the teaching. Don't ever drop the education and the wisdom and knowledge of what you're learning. You know what I'm saying? Simply because one bitch be on some bullshit. That's just her, fellas. It's a world full of them. You know what I'm saying? Just keep moving, keep pushing. But homie didn't, the green and the gold do-rag, you know what I'm saying? He hatched all his eggs in one basket. It had a hole in that motherfucker. He looked up, wasn't nothing in that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Simply because he sat there and paid all that money for a flight, paid all that motherfucking money for a room, got a double bed to make himself feel better. Probably had a single bed. She was playing games, so he switched over and got a double bed just to make himself feel better. And like I said, when dudes like that get into their bag and they get emotional, they start emotionally spending. They start crying, tripping out, and wigging out like a female. That's real shit because they don't know what else to do. And they not understanding. It's totally up to you and how you move. You accepted the bitches. You sat up there, accepted her games simply because you was talking to her. You know what I'm saying? You was keeping the shit going, communication. You had her lead you. And when a woman leads you like that, fellas, you can fall out of pocket. And that's what it is. You know, you lead the situation, you let her know what it is and go back to doing what you're doing. Hit her up the day before or the morning of and let her know, hey, we still on tonight. Hey, if it's popping, oh yeah, we still good. Boom, boom. Okay, meet me here. You know what I'm saying? What the situation is. Never go as far as flying a woman out, fellas. She's not your wife. She's not no one you've been dating for 6 months, 8 months, a year, or whatever the case. Like you got some familiarity with this person. It's a person that you know that's being consistent with you. You know they're not gonna play with you. You don't go that far on a first date with a bitch you never hit. You know what I'm saying? She's apartment status, fellas. She hotel room status around the corner from your house or up the street, a few miles away. You know, she's in that bracket. You never take her outside that bracket to take what? You play yourself like that. The fuck? And if you think that you got to do these things, then you ain't got game. You need to come over here and join my shit and come and learn some shit. But shouts out to y'all, man. We're going to definitely get to that, fella. We ain't done with this shit. But let's get it cracking here. Check this out.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Really? So you love him? I bought a ring. You bought a ring at the store. All that shit. You're fucking at the same time. So you're leaving tonight. You're getting your shit. You're going back to the garage. That's it. Done deal. Done deal. We're done. We're done. We're done. Don't play stupid. You know, me and Robbie actually talked today. You don't know that, did you? We actually talked. He's been fucking you on Sundays, and tomorrow I've been having sex with you too. Fuck you, Anna.
Me and Robbie actually talked today. We actually talked, and these dudes go this far too, just to expose the bitch. They'll tell everything. You know, you tell the dude, hey, look, yeah, we been fucking, man. But keep this under your hat, man. Don't put that out there though. You know, you know what I'm saying? You doing homie love. You feel like, you know, okay, he's a good dude. I don't want to do him like this. Even though I've been stabbing this chick, I'm sick of it anyway. I'd have had it all, you know, so let me go ahead and, you know, let him know what it is, right? And then you go and let him know what it is. You tell him keep that shit under his hat, keep it tucked. You know what I'm saying? But how was she? It don't matter how she finds out or how do I find out or what. Just go and check her. You know what I'm saying? But keep me up out of this shit. And they go right out there and they can spill the beans right there. Straight nigga tell the bitch, oh, he told me this. Now she knows, like, damn, okay, y'all talking about me like this? This is a fucked up shit. Even though dude is driving, he don't care. You know, it ain't his bitch, you know. Other dude, it's going to be kind of difficult for him to get back unless he be on sucking shit because he pulled up exposing what was said to him and telling everything. And, you know, you don't do that. And you doing it right in front of the homie. I'm quite sure he told him, don't tell her. But then, you know, I mean, you never know. He could have probably told her, hey, but I doubt if he drove her up to, and, you know, ride with her. And no, he probably told her, don't tell her, man. You know what I'm saying? You find out on you'll see and you'll peep. And he came out and spilled his beans. Trader said, wow. Yeah. Pedro. We say, well, at least he told the fuck up. Let me fuck up. What you say? What? Why back her things? Hold up, man. How you spelling this? Hey, come on now. Hey, y'all got to come in here and y'all got to, hey, focus on, fellas. Focus on your wordplay and, you know, your corrections of your words and your punctuations and things of that sort when you focus. I got to read this shit out for everybody else that's coming through, checking the video out, fellas. Let me see. Her things and get to this video to court rather than argue with her or trying to make her stay. I mean, I'll get what you're saying now. I mean, I don't think he married her yet. Let me see. Let me check it. Let's go through it real quick.
You're done. Get the fuck out of my apartment. Take her, Robbie. Get her shit out of here, bitch. Lying motherfucker. You just told him that you love him too, and you kissed him yesterday. I love it. Bye, lying, cheating ass bitch.
Robert, you got something to say?
He ain't got nothing to say. She doesn't have nothing to say. You see that? She's gonna lie, Robbie.
Okay, so let me see what Pedro's saying. Pedro, well, at least he told her to fuck off and to pack her things. Well, I mean, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that. You expect, I mean, now in situations like this, fellas, when you go as far to getting a bitch a wife and you engage, you trying to be engaged to her. I mean, getting her a ring and you trying, I said a wife, getting her a ring, you trying to be engaged to her and you want to make her your wife and do those things, fellas. Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with checking it, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to the situation, dude. He moved her into his shit. He ain't really knew her like that. He fell in for her and he moved her in. You know what I'm saying? And did what a lot of guys do. They become friendly. They look at their girlfriends as not as just their woman. They look at her as their homeboy and all type of shit. Bring her around the dudes and bring her around all type of guys and bring her around the circle. And some of these chicks, fellas, you got to watch it too. Check game. Some women will, make it a big deal that you spend time with them outside of just you and her. You know what I'm saying? Like putting it out there to where, hey, won't you, you be over your friend's house, over your cousin's house. Excuse me, fellas. Out doing God things, doing what guys do or whatever the case may be. And some chicks be like, damn, you ain't gonna invite me out. You ain't gonna bring me along. Damn, I mean, you ain't gonna kick it with me out. And guys will fall for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they'll do it. They be, okay, let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and we're gonna go shoot pool with my friend. We're gonna go shoot pool with my cousins and them, or whatever the case may be. Let me invite her along. Even though it's a guy thing, ain't none of these guys bringing a woman around. And none of these guys, you ain't seen none of these dudes, women. It's always you guys. Be your co-workers or whatever the case may be, right? But you bring her around, not even knowing that her whole game plan is to lead you, and that's the way she can lead you. You know what I'm saying? Women test, fellas, and it can be the smallest tests, things that's harmless and things you don't pay attention to. And when they see that you follow them in that manner, fellas, then that shit become big, and then they can hit you that way. So in this situation here, I guarantee you, he kicking it around her, he laying up with her. You know what I'm saying? This being her friend just as well. You see it with a lot of guys. You see it in TikTok videos. You see it on YouTube. You see dudes, involving a bitch in a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? On YouTube or whatever. And nothing's wrong with it, man. Nothing's wrong at all if you that masculine man and you got your shit under control and you know what type of chick you're dealing with. But if you don't know who you're dealing with, like this case here, you moving her in, you don't know what type of chick you're dealing with. You go and get her an engagement ring. You're not married to her yet. Oh, I go buy you a ring and you gonna go and fuck Robbie behind my back. You creeping with him, you just fucking him, bitch, get your shit and we're done. Nothing's wrong with checking her and checking the situation, but you exposing things that should have been, that didn't have to be exposed in public. He should have got rid of her a minute ago. Come on, man. I mean, I'm quite sure he probably, look, check this out. It's a chance that he could have found that out right then and there and just acted out, you know what I'm saying? But no, man. Homie told you this before. Homie told you this while back, probably a week or two, or whatever the case may be. Homie already told him this. And he was still kicking it with her. He was still around her and shit, you know what I'm saying? Probably poking at her, who you fucking with, who you sleeping with, and whatever the case may be. And then come find out she is fucking with dude, because dude told her, hey, look, hey, I'm sleeping with her. You know what I'm saying? We never know what goes on behind the scene. They could have had a drunken conversation and motherfuckers start talking, and motherfuckers, when they get off that devil spirit, you know how that go, that devil fluid, shit, they start opening their mouth and start talking about things. And she got busted. And like, Pedro said, nothing, at least he told her to pack up, take the shit and leave, right? Cool. Nothing's wrong with that. But all these things shouldn't have been made public out there in front of everybody. That's what I'm saying, fellas. It shouldn't have been done like that. You caught her riding with him and you probably followed him. You caught her ride with and you exposed the situation. But he already told you this. You just sat there and said, Robbie told me these things. So if Robbie told me these things, then you should have ended that a while back. Why wait till you catch her in the act? And then, okay, it is true. Robbie could have been lying. I mean, I doubt if Robbie been lying. He probably was doubting his friend and what his friend was telling him. believing that he got a unicorn, like a lot of these guys, believing they got someone that wouldn't do them like this because they wouldn't do them like that. No, 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 that ain't what it is, fellas. The faster you move, the faster you'll fuck up. So when you move these chicks in fast, when you move on them fast trying to get married, I guarantee you he ain't been with that chick no longer than a couple months. This is the average. This is the norm. Hold up, trend trader. You say emotional damage. Trend trader, that in-house pussy will get you every time. Hell yeah, in-house. Shouts out to somebody said that before. It had me rolling like a motherfucker. I think it was Ramil. Shouts out to Ramil. You know what I'm saying? Shouts out to let's say Ty City and Ramil. Ramil said that shit. He had me rolling like a motherfucker. So some dudes you already think these things, but some dudes beat you to the punch and saying it. He had me rolling when he said it. He said, "Well, that in-house is dangerous," and it is, bro. That in-house pussy ain't no joke. You laying up with it, you cuddling with it. You barebacking it, raw dogging it 24/7. You sleeping up in it and shit. You know what I'm saying? You creaming all type of shit off in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gazing each other eyes and shit. Y'all playing footsies. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, y'all doing TikTok videos. You making the house a home. You comfortable with this bitch and everything. And you find out, niggas, your drinking buddy's getting it too. And he ain't doing none of this shit you doing. He getting everything and probably more. And he ain't doing none of this shit you doing. It's cold. Cold. Fellas really love to play house. They play house like a motherfucker. They do. They play house so much, nigga, they start claiming the motherfucking kids, nigga. Dudes play house outside of the house, in their own house. Yeah, the bitch got her own shit. They still play house. That's cold, bro. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna jump to this next one right here, fellas. Like I said, we're gonna always talk about what we was talking about earlier. Always establish what you want beforehand, fellas. Remember that. You know what I'm saying? Like we do. Let me see. Boom. We'll get over here. We're gonna talk about it with homeboy up here doing his thing. And homeboy had me rolling like a motherfucker. You ready to risk it all. Look, you ready to risk it all. Look at little dude. look, he's 4'10", y'all talking about what do height mean, right? He don't give a fuck. Even though I know it's a joke, they had to stop his little ass, bro. The Trent Tracer 100% page roll facts. But yeah, this some parody joke type shit with nigga. She popped it on little dude. He's like, fuck, we gonna get it in on sight. But yeah, fellas, man, always establish what you want beforehand. And it goes back to what we were saying earlier, fellas, to the guy with the do-rag. And you know what I'm saying? And even though, fellas, you can establish what you want beforehand. You know what I'm saying? You can always, let a bitch know in the text or let her know on the phone, FaceTime or what it is. Like, look, check this out, man. I'm trying to get up on you and bite on your neck. I'm trying to be on some vampire shit, baby. You know what I'm saying? Grab on your hair. See, when I come at women, fellas, I always let them know what it is. But I rarely, it's rare. It's very rare that I ran across these chicks, fellas, and I got over and they was flaking and shit, even though we was into the seduction moment through the text, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be, right? On how we was translating the communication. And it's very rare that I ran across a chick that done it, but I have done it before, like about 3 times, fellas. I ran across chicks to where you get over there, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I start sipping on some shit and everything, and then everything you was talking about from the jump, you know what I'm saying, making it happen and shit, right? And you get over there, the chick be on some funny style shit. Or you bring her, you invite her over to your place and she be on some funny style shit. Oh, I ain't really trying to, you know what I'm saying? And in that sense, fellas, you already know what time it is. Kick it to the curb. Let her go. Don't tell her, hey, look, when you ready, holler at me again, or, come back around, or, no. She got that chance. It's a small window, fellas. You got to always have your game to where it's a small window of opportunity when you're dealing with me. So if I'm letting it be known that I want to get it in, you know what I'm saying, get up in the panties or whatever the case may be, that's what it is. I'm going to let it be known. That's what it is. And 10 times out of 10, I'm going to let that be known. And like I said, fellas, I never really fell in the process of making it happen. I never really failed on chicks ghosting and shit like that because I established what I want beforehand. Now the ones that did, was on some bullshit, I kicked them to the curb, man. I never let them come back. You know what I'm saying? No, nah, I'm good. Get the fuck out of here. Because I don't because you show I mean, I don't know I don't know what it is. I don't know what to believe. I don't know if you be I was just going through something, but I am feeling you like right now. I do want to come over and make it happen. And a lot of guys will fall for that, right? But you gotta really stand on your shit, fellas, and you gotta have the discipline not to bust up out your character and go after making it happen with a chick, especially if she, you know what I'm saying, actually agreed on making shit happen with you and come over, or you come over to her shit and she's faking and shit, fellas. Women like that, don't talk to them ever again. Let them go. Don't, no, they're not qualified. They're not credited enough, for them to be truthworthy. It's just like the court system. You gotta look at it like the court. So I'm gonna use that as an analogy. Looks like the court system. You know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with the feds or you dealing with the state or whatever the case may be, and then it's a case and like a case of whatever, drug case, violent case, whatever the case may be, and you been subpoenaed to court or they ask you to come to court, and you testifying on an oath and things of that sort. They prepare you with like interrogations and things of that sort, so they can get you ready and get your statements and shit down. And that's how they know, everything's recorded. They know, if you get up on stand, you start saying something different, that means this person is not qualified, so they disqualify you. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, if you get up there and lying and shit, and they know that you lying, you on some bullshit, the deal is ripped up, it's off the table, and you ready to go do some time. You know what I'm saying? So you got to kind of look at it like that, fellas. If a chick is coming over and she's acting as if she's trying to fuck with you and y'all flirting and y'all meet up on a date, which could be at your place, her place, and y'all making it happen, or you thinking you're gonna make it happen, and she start stepping back and trying to ghost you. I mean, not ghost, but stepping back and trying to be on some funny shit. I don't know why I keep saying ghosting, that's crazy. But stepping back, trying to be on some funny shit, and when you already know this chick was a total different person a couple of days ago when we was flirting, talking with each other. Now she's on something different when she's coming over, and she already know what it is. We what the fuck? You mean we know what? I can't get too much deep in the detail. I can't, I don't know how to really explain it. She knows what it is, right? And then she come over, oh, I'm really not feeling that. Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be like that, or all that other shit, fellas. Never talk to her again. You know what I'm saying? You don't reward her by bringing her back. You disqualify her, just like the court system would do. You disqualify her. And her punishment is to never come back in your fucking life. It's just that simple. Let her go. Don't talk to her no more. Now, if you don't establish what you want, there's a high chance, fellas, like I said before, there's a greater chance you running the risk of getting games played with you. And most men do this. They think they have, they think they got a hook, line, and sinker. They think they got everything situated out simply because, the chick was highly interested in them. The chick was making conversation. She was probably being flirtatious, or, she was making certain moves during the conversation to where you like, okay, she ready. You know what I'm saying? I can see that she ready to make that happen. So you give her the number. She hits you up, hey, look, check this out. We're going to meet at such and such time, at such, nighttime, 9, 10 o'clock, whatever the case may be, right? And she agree on that. You like, okay, I got it in the bud. Boom, you go meet the chick. That don't mean you got it, fellas. Trust me. That don't mean you got it at all. And I get this all the time from guys. They be, damn, man, she was talking one way or feeling some way. And then, I'm like, okay, well, did you establish what you wanted? Did you let her know that, you was very comfortable with that motherfucker? You already know you're going to be sucking on that neck, grabbing her hair. You're going to get flirtatious with her. You ready to do some feeling, put her in that mood. She knows what it is, or you can come out and say, look, I'm going to come on over there, man, and get you up out of the jeans or, the panties or whatever you wearing. You already know what time it is, right? She knows what it is. Or however you say it, fellas, be direct with what you say. And dude, a lot of guys, the majority of guys, no, I didn't say that, bro. Okay. That's how you think you got played with. she's gonna play with you like that. You know what I'm saying? She's looking at it like, okay, even though she know you know what you want, even though she knows what it is, fellas. You know what I'm saying? She's still gonna play her games simply because you're not man enough to tell her what it is. You know what turns a woman on, and this is a part. Well, this is one of the things of one of the parts of turning women on, fellas, is you being direct and telling her what it is, and that get her in the. It's like it's sends some kind of dopamine or what through her brain, and it sets off the freakiness, and you know some kind of. I'm explaining why the bitch get wet in some kind of way. She's like, damn, he directly let me know he gonna come and get me, take me about these jeans, or he directly let me know he gonna come put these legs in the air. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Damn, okay, that's a turn on, and I'm feeling that. So let me go ahead and do that. Boom, there it is. You know, she's already feeling that, and then you said that you enhanced the mood by saying what you want to do, so that made her feel a little bit, you know, a little bit more into being intimate with you. So she like, okay, I'm feeling that, and then you know you get it going. And if she, oh well, I'm not really trying to do that as of yet. I gotta get to know you. Or I'm not that kind of girl. Or they come with their other shit. Then you save yourself a whole lot of time. You ain't got to make the move. You ain't got to waste gas. You ain't got to, she stay walking distance. You ain't got to walk. You ain't got to do too much communication over the texting, phone. You ain't got to do none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Nothing at all. So you killed the time. You save time right there, fellas. And that's what it's about, saving our time. Because like I said, man, we as men, we value the time. Every fucking second counts with us, fellas. We get it in. We hard workers. We grinders. You know what I'm saying? We are the leaders. So every fucking second count with us. And trust me, every second that counts to you is fucking 12 hours that she'll waste playing games with you and wouldn't give a fuck about the time. Trust me. Real shit. You know? So you must establish what you want, fellas. And I know a lot of guys that look at it like, damn, if I establish what I want right offhand, and if she ain't really wanting that and I'm feeling it, wouldn't that run her off? Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna answer it as blunt as I can, fellas. Who cares? Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all hit the super chat. Hit the membership button, fellas. Show love to the show. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that super chat, fellas. Show love to the show. I know I'm be screaming that out too much, but you know it is. Gotta let it be known. Show love to the show. Donate, fellas. Go join the Patreon. Go join that Rumble just as well. Hit the PayPal, that Cash App. Let me see. What Trent tried to say. What the 100% pay? Oh yeah, we read that. Big facts. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys be looking at it like, if she's not ready to make that move, then that shouldn't be no problem, right? If you ready to make the move, fellas, you gotta remember it's about what the hell you want to do. If you ready to make that move and she ain't ready to make that move, then the move ain't gonna happen. Then you need to move on and go elsewhere. You know what I'm saying? And go fuck with somebody else and get something popping elsewhere. That's what it is now. If she's willing to make that move and she's ready to make that move, trust me, fellas, she's gonna drop everything to make that move. She's gonna make the time for you to make that move because she's into you like that. Ain't no other way around it. I experienced it. Man. I lost count, fella. I really don't. They say what Don King say: if you count enough money, then you ain't had enough money. Shit, if you count enough holes, nigga, that you just ran through, then you ain't had enough of them, fella. I lost count on how many women that's been highly interested in me and came over and made it happen, or they invited me over. You know what I'm saying? Had a room or whatever the case may be, hotel room or something. And we got it in. So there's no other way around it, fellas. She just ain't fucking with you. So that's why you got to establish what it is so you would not waste your time. It's all about timing. You dig? And that's what's up. Let me get over here, look at little homie. What these suckers up here saying in this section? Oh, they talking about little homie. Let me take these off real quick. What he say? He said, little man, yeah. And little homie don't give a fuck. Yeah. They ain't doing, but they ain't nobody just talking shit on here, fellas. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna do now. We gonna remove that real quick, and we gonna make it pop. You know what I'm saying? The manipulation part. And we're gonna get to it, fella, because this right here, and I think part 5 and part 6, the last part is 6. This is the definitely last part for sure. I think part 5 or part 6 is when you get into talking about, you know what I'm saying, how he got down with, the situation and that knife situation and handled business on both of them, Nicole and Ryan, right? But right here, fellas, this is speaking on the manipulation part when it was, think, yeah, leading directly up to, what I'm saying, what caused him to like put it in perspective of, hey, I can't change this chick, man. I might have to, handle my business in that way. And that's when part this is 4, that's when part 5 come in. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna jump over here real quick and make that happen and get straight to it like we always do. Let's get to the game.
The two Nicoles. Nicole moved into the Bundy condo in late January, and she liked it just fine. But she was still pissed that I hadn't asked her to move back into Rockingham. I can't believe you made me buy my own place, she whined. Nicole, we've been through this. Give it time. I'm just saying. I know, you've been saying for a while. Well, it makes me wonder, she said. I'm trying to be hopeful, but you're making it really hard. It's January.
I know you've been toying with me for a while. You've been saying for a while, and I'm back and forth. See, all this shit, man, would have saved this man his fame, his fortunes, and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? And this all this back and forth shit, and he just couldn't read between the line that she was toying, manipulating with him, and putting him in situations of where, you know what I'm saying, he would act out erratic, you know what I'm saying, simply because, she wanted to get a reaction out of him. You know what I'm saying? And women do this shit, fellas. That's why you gotta have boundaries and you gotta, you know what I'm saying, put a stop to shit, fellas. When you catch it at the beginning or when you see that she want her space or want to get away from you, you stop that shit at the beginning ASAP. That's how you're supposed to be.
We've got 4 months before Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, it will be exactly 1 year. I know, she snapped. Stop reminding me. I feel like I'm on trial here. The move created one other problem for Nicole, aside from the tax issue, and this one concerned her houseboy, Cato. At the Gretna Green place, he lived in the guest house, but on Bundy, all she had was a little maid's room. So she asked me if I'd put him up at one of the 3 guest houses on my property. It was supposed to be temporary until Cato could find a place of his own, and I told Nicole I was glad to help out. Within a week, Cato was living at Rockingham. Years later, when the trial got underway, somebody floated a crazy story about this. They said that Nicole had offered Cato the maid's room at the Bundy condo and that he was game, but that I didn't want them living under the same roof. Again, people didn't seem to understand that, by that point, I had absolutely no interest in reconciling with Nicole. After all, if I had wanted her back, she never would have bought the place on Bundy. She and the kids would have moved into Rockingham.
Like, share, and subscribe. Y'all hit the super chat, hit the membership button. Show love to the show.
Which is what she'd been hounding me about all along. In short order, Nicole began to resent Cato. I don't know what it was exactly, but he was living at the house, and she wasn't. And I think that really pissed her off. I know it makes absolutely no sense, but a lot of the shit we went through made no sense, and I think my theory is as good as any. Now there were 2 people at Rockingham that really pissed her off, Michelle and Cato. 3 if you count me. But she kept coming by anyway, mostly to hang out by the pool and to torment me with her unhappiness. At one point she told me, "Oh, Jay, when I come by the house, I don't want to see either Michelle or Cato. Cato shouldn't even be on the property, and Michelle should hide in her room until I'm gone."
This is a manipulation, fellas. That's why I say it's the manipulation, to where she toyed with him at first. She wanted her space. She broke off with him, and most guys can agree to this because the majority of you guys go through this shit. That's why you be back and forth with your wife, back and forth with your baby mama, with your ex-girl, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Then you look up when she's ready to come around, and she's putting her foot down. You know what I'm saying? To show boldness and show a sense of control. So now remember, she wanted out of his, she wanted his place at first. Then she settled to be, he didn't give up his place. So she settled to be on her own. So when he got her place, she wasn't content there. Oh, I ain't happy here either. Fuck that shit. I'm only happy with toying with you and fucking your shit up. So I'm gonna come back over and control your shit. You know what I'm saying? Legally be in your house to where it's a certain amount of time. By me being in your house, you can't really legally remove me from your house. Now I can set it up to take your shit from you. And this is the manipulation part that she was trying to get off on him.
You understand? When I'm around, I don't want either of them around. I looked at her, wondering if she lost her mind. Who was she coming by to tell me how to run my home? If she didn't want to see Michelle and Cato, she didn't have to come by at all. She could drop the kids off out front, and I'd be glad to hang by the pool with them. I told her as much, and she looked at me with such hatred, I thought she was going to leap off her lounge chair and attack me. But she didn't attack me. She picked up her copy of People magazine and ignored me. To make matters worse, several of her close friends started coming by to express concern about the shape she was in, as if I could do something about it. Nicole was still hanging out with that same bad crowd, they said, drinking too much and clearly doing drugs. Every other day I heard variations on the same tune. OJ, you got to do something about it. She needs help. But what could I do? Whenever I brought it up, which was often, believe me, she told me she didn't want to hear it. Or worse, she stormed out. As usual, everything was my fault. In her mind, if I'd only let her move back into Rockingham, life would be perfect. But I hadn't let her move back in, and all she had was her friends and a big tax problem. The tax problem was my fault too, of course. It was all my fault. Nicole's life was turning to shit because I didn't love her, and she was certainly lovable, so the problem was me.
Of course everything gonna be your fault, OJ, and you fellas out there, you know what I'm saying? When you drop everything on this bitch, you know what I'm saying, you giving her everything that you feel she deserved and she won't right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? You open her up to a different lifestyle. You got a different status. You know, you're in a different status realm. You making millions of dollars and you open her up to a different lifestyle. She ain't work for nothing. She ain't display some kind of, you know what I'm saying, sense of loyalty and how she can, you know what I'm saying, help provide, aid, and assist you just as well. Then of course everything gonna be on you. You know, you led with your wallet. So you in with your wallet. That's the name of the game. And that's why I play this shit, fellas. Like I said, the subscriber, you know what I'm saying, hit me with a great donation and run through these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Because this is a big reminder to you, a lot of you guys, you know, you can take something from this, you know. Everything that I'm telling you can take something from, especially from this. Because we talking about this real life shit here. This shit was broadcasting, you know what I'm saying, placed in everyone's face to see across the whole world. So there's no way around it. You know, he fucked up so many ways in this situation, starting from the beginning when she asked from space, when she was talking about her figure and her shape, and she wanted to separate it. She wanted to get the house and all that. Now, that's a big red flag right there. And we got to put this shit on ice. We got to stop this. And that's what he should have did right then and there. And it wouldn't have took over and took up a life of his own and ran his course like he's doing now. You know, OJ's too deep into it. He, you know, fucked it up with both his bitches that he had on the side, you know, simply because he's allowing his baby mama, his ex-wife, to run in and out of his life, 20 like a yo-yo.
Responsible for everything. One afternoon, she came by the house to drop off the kids so she could run a few errands, and I thought she looked a little glassy-eyed. When the kids were out of earshot, I asked her if she was okay. I did it nicely, not accusing her of anything, not confronting her. You know, I said, I'm hearing from a lot of people, your friends mostly, that you're fucking yourself up with drugs and shit. You want to talk about it? Fucking myself up? That's crazy. What friends are telling you this? People who are worried about you. She got mad. She said it was bullshit, that these so-called friends of hers didn't know what they were talking about, that she was in complete control. To tell you the truth, I didn't have any concrete evidence to back up the allegations. The woman looked worn down, yes, and she was erratic, and sometimes she seemed completely out of it. But it's not like I really knew anything. If I had, trust me, I would have done something about it, both for her and for the kids. But when I looked at my kids, and I looked at them closely, believe me, they seemed fine.
See, this is my thing. If you knew she was on dope or you knew she's doing other shit and, you know, you see, oh my God, see, this is like OJ, man, like most men. They pain themselves. They round their own emotions up, you know what I'm saying, asking certain questions and expecting answers, you know what I'm saying, to what they expecting. But, you know, to be honest, you really don't want to know what's real. And if she is on dope or she is getting around having sex with multiple men, that's what she's doing. And if she was to really tell you the truth, it'd bust your fucking soul. You know what I'm saying? And At least she did have a little bit of heart not to bust his soul, but she, she did keep him on a limb by playing with him. That's why, fellas, if it gets this deep, you shouldn't have her around. Why waste your time having this person around if you think this way about her or if you hearing certain shit about her? Don't confront her about it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand it's the mother of your kids, but you OJ Simpson. You well in control. I mean, you in more control than you got more pull than her. If this was the case, you could have been and took your kids and left her out to do her own thing. So is this really the case or what? I don't know.
They didn't look messed up or haunted or any of that shit. On the contrary, they seemed solid and happy, and they were as loving toward Nicole as they'd ever been, if not more so. If something really bad was going on, I figured I'd see it, but I didn't see a thing. Not in them, anyway. In Nicole, though, the changes only became more obvious with time. She became even more erratic, looked even more worn down, and she seemed increasingly lost. It was hard to understand. For as long as I'd known her, Nicole's head and heart had always been in the right place. Whenever any of her friends had a problem, they always went to her first. She was solid and clear-thinking. She always made the right moral decision. But that was another Nicole, and she hadn't been much in evidence lately. In fact, in some ways, it was as if the new Nicole was taking over, and I can't say I much liked her. One day, right around this time, I was just back from New York, sitting by the pool in a lounge chair reading, waiting for Nicole to show up with the kids. The moment they showed up, the kids ran off to the guest house with a note for Cato. What was that all about? I asked her. A letter for Cato, she said. I want him gone. Cato wasn't home, but the kids left the note there, and they obviously knew what it was about. Cato's a freeloader. He's a bum. Cato has to find a place of his own because Mom doesn't want him here. I was shocked, but I bit my tongue until they were in the pool.
Using his kid, she using the kids and shit to get in adult situations, allegedly, if this is real, that's fucked up. And come on, man, hell no, man, nigga, please, man, one of my kids walking up calling some adult a bum and he's this, he's that, and you all, and my kids all in my business, and what, man, fuck nah, I couldn't have no chick like this around me, man. Fuck, hell no. That reads big red flags, man. Come on, dude. Who the fuck?
Out of earshot. Why do you have to go and teach them that shit? I said. They're little kids. They don't need to get in the middle of it. She rolled her eyes and stormed off, disappearing into the house. A few moments later, she was back. Man, I hate that woman. She was talking about Michelle, of course, and I didn't want trouble, so I went into the house and asked Michelle to disappear for a while. Go down to the Brentwood Mart and get some fresh flowers or something, I suggested. Nicole?
And he went along with it. Look, check this out. Go down to the Brentwood Mart, get some fresh flowers, I suggested, even though you're my housemaid, even though, you're on a salary, I'm paying your salary, but I'm allowing this bitch to come in here and take over. This is my wife, this is my mother and my kids and all this old simp shit. And this is their way of willing in. This was the manipulation tactic, fellas. Her coming over to take over his place. You know what I'm saying? You running off his house guest. You running off his maid. You running off the nanny, the housekeeper and shit. Like you coming to take over and control this man's shit. But OJ allowed it. OJ allowed that shit. OJ answered every phone call when he say he didn't want to. OJ allowed her to come over and disrupt and cause mayhem and this shit when he say it's just Nicole. She just, I don't have no other choice. Nigga, you in a gated community. The fuck out of here. You OJ Simpson. You allowed these things because you was a sucker. The fuck?
Be gone in an hour or two. Michelle looked a little upset, but she knew it was for the best. Okay, Mr. Simpson, she said, barely audible. All right, let me just finish cleaning up the kitchen and I'll go. I went outside and told Nicole that Michelle was leaving for a while and that she could relax. But she didn't seem very relaxed. She was full of venom. You've got to fire that woman, she hissed. And I said, Nicole, look, if we get back together, Michelle already knows that you and her is not going to work out. But let's just wait and see. We're still a few months away from that. I thought that was a pretty reasonable thing to say, but it must have rubbed Nicole the wrong way. She went back into the house and returned just a few minutes later looking very worked up. I just hit her, she said. What? I hit her. I couldn't help it. I hate her attitude. What do you mean you hit her? You can't hit her. I got up from the lounge chair and walked into the kitchen and found Michelle sitting there, red-faced, tears streaming down her cheeks, trying to call the cops. "I'm calling the police," she said. "Look what she did to me. She slapped my face." She kept misdialing the number, 411 instead of 911. So I went over and apologized for Nicole's behavior and tried to calm her down. "I'll take care of everything," I said, setting the phone back in its cradle. "Please don't call the police." "You can't just hit a person and get away with it," Michelle said, still crying. "I know, Michelle. That's what I told her. I'm sorry. I don't know."
Fuck nah. Hell nah. Nigga, man, call them people. Press charges, do what you gotta do. You get the fuck out of my house. Bitch, I gotta rep. What? You know who I am? I mean, I'm in Hertz commercials. I'm in McDonald's commercials. I'm the first motherfucker that ever broke 2,000 yards in a single season. I mean, come on, I'm OJ motherfucking Simpson. I got too much going for me. And you ever putting your hands on my fucking maid? A person that I'm paying out of my pocket? And we're not together, and we got a divorce? Bitch, get the fuck up out of this motherfucker. Man, I'd have instantly removed her, put a restraint on and got the fuck away from her, bro. And that would have gave me grounds to get my kids back. You know, she's showing erratic and violent behavior, you know what I'm saying? Especially around these kids, you know, and the woman is testifying that she did put her hands on her. So if you really about getting your kids back, you say she on drugs, right? See, all these things would have been prevented. OJ would have had a life if he would have followed these steps, fellas. He would have had a life after his release from jail back then when he beat the case, and Vegas wouldn't have never came. He wouldn't have never been. OJ would have passed away. He probably would have lived longer, you know, or he'd have passed away. You know what I'm saying? Being that notable figure that everybody was, you know, looking at as that prominent athlete. You know, simply because he allowed a woman to manipulate and control him because he didn't want to see her out fucking with other guys. You know, he said he don't know about the drug thing. Remember, he switched and said he don't know because he ain't see things in her. So it's got to be the other guys and her partying lifestyle. You didn't want her doing these things, so you allow her to stay around and bring your life down. This is a no-no, fellas.
I don't know what's gotten into Nicole lately, but I'll get it handled. Well, I don't know what's gotten into her either, Mr. Simpson, but I can't take it anymore. I went outside, pissed, and confronted Nicole. "How can you do what you just did? How could you hit that poor lady? I don't care if you don't like her attitude. You don't go around hitting people." "Don't tell me what to do," Nicole snapped, then got up and went over to the side of the pool and told the kids to get out. "We're going home," she said. Then she stormed off with the kids still dripping wet as if it was me who had done something wrong. I went back and looked in on Michelle again, and I apologized again, and I told her that I was going to get everything handled right away. I then called Kathy Randall at the office, and she got my lawyer on the phone. I walked them through what had just happened. "You should have let Michelle call the police," my lawyer said. "Nothing like an assault charge to teach a person a lesson."
If your attorney telling you this, see, man, come on, man. I ain't even a fucking lawyer knowing this, man. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Come on, dude.
"What am I going to do about Michelle?" I asked. "Talk to her. Make sure she's okay." When I got off the phone, I went back into the kitchen. Michelle had pulled herself together, more or less, but she was still very upset. Before I could ask her if there was anything I could do, she turned to me and said, "Mr. Simpson, I just can't stay here. I'm going to resign." Now, we went back and forth on this a little bit, but she was pretty determined. So I told her not to worry about finances or anything, that I would take care of her until she was settled and happy at a new job. "Thank you, Mr. Simpson. I promise I won't leave until I help you find someone to take."
That was smart. She definitely could have sued you like that. You know, that shit happened in your house and, you know, no police was called and you let this shit go on with your wife. She definitely would have hit him.
Take my place. Within a few days, Michelle introduced me to a friend of hers, Gigi, and I hired her on the spot. The very next day, this is in March 1994, Nicole called to tell me that she thought we should all go to Cabo for a week or two. A bunch of our friends were going, including Bruce Jenner and his wife Christy, and Faye Resnick and her fiancé Christian Reichardt, and Nicole thought it would be fun. Fun? She just created all sorts of domestic havoc for me, and now she was talking about fun? "I can't go," I said, and it was true.
Look. See that? This goes back to Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner. Where's my phone? I mean, whatever his or her name, whatever. I mean, I don't know. talking about good riddance in his death. But this dude just said March of 94. The murder happened in June of 94. Let me see, March, April, May, June. That's 3 months. So he hardly even knew OJ for him to say good riddance. And everybody seen him say good riddance, right, through Twitter and all that, right, when OJ passed away, right? And he hardly even knew him. That should let you know right there, you know what I'm saying? Dude's a sucker. You know what I mean? You know, had a hell of a transformation behind the chick, you know, behind Kris Kardashian, Kris Jenner, whoever you want to call her, Kardashian's mama. So, you know, I could see a sucker jumping on board and inheriting her feelings, her emotions towards her friend passing away. My wife's friend died, so I hate him too. You don't even know the dude. Some coward shit.
I was getting ready to do Frogmen, a television pilot, which was going to start shooting that following week in Malibu, and would continue shooting for several more weeks in Puerto Rico. I've got the show to do. That's not till next week, she said. I'm not in the mood, I said. Honey, come on, please, do it for the kids. So I went. I'm a pushover. And we had a pretty good time, to be honest.
So I went. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm a pushover. This motherfucker admitted to being a simp. Wow.
The beach, good food, good drink, jet ski with the kids, afternoon naps in the shade, and more good food and drink at the end of the day. I had to come back that first Sunday, though, to be on location in Malibu bright and early the next morning. And I left Nicole behind with the kids and our friends. That Thursday evening, as I was on my way home from the shoot, Nicole reached me on my cell phone. I'm back, she said. I thought you were staying the whole week, I said. I missed you. And I know you're going to be in Puerto Rico for a whole month, so I wanted to spend a little time with you before you left. There was something a little weird about the whole thing. Nicole was never a good liar. And when we got together that night, something told me she wasn't being completely honest with me, but I didn't pursue it. I accepted what she told me, and we had a truly terrific weekend together. She was the old Nicole again, the good one. On Sunday morning, as I was packing for my trip, I suggested hooking up in Miami in 2 weeks, where one of my friends was getting married.
The old Nicole again, the good one, manipulation. She one minute she's hot, next minute she's warm, next minute she's cold. He don't know what he gonna get. Got his feelings racing up and down like a female.
Married. I told her I'd fly up from Puerto Rico and she could fly down from LA and we could have ourselves another perfect weekend. Just like this last weekend, I said. It really was perfect, wasn't it? She said. And I swear she had tears in her eyes. Yes, I said, it really was. When I left for the airport, I was in a terrific mood, and I remember calling Nicole's mother from the limo. I know I wasn't real optimistic about this whole reconciliation thing, but it looks like I was wrong, I said, eating my words. Things are finally beginning to work out. I'm glad to hear it, she said. I always had hope. It was a real turning point for me. After months of telling myself that our relationship was going absolutely nowhere, I felt as if we were really going to make it. When I called Nicole from Puerto Rico the next day, however, she sounded like the other Nicole, the one I didn't like. I don't know if it was some kind of drug-induced mood swing or something, but the real Nicole...
No, it wasn't no drug-induced mood swing. It was her time to kick back into the next gear. You know what I'm saying? Because she already got you jovial. She got you feeling like, you know, things can be things can be back on board. You guys can work out again. You know, you guys can reconcile your problems. She had you thinking that, which going to naturally send a shockwave to your body to make you feel good and make you feel great and, you know, make you feel there's hope. And then she tear that shit back down. That's to keep you emotionally driven over her. And once you become emotionally driven over one woman, fellas, it'd be hard for you to get over her. And some women know how to get you like that. And that's, hey, and if you weak, you got. I mean, it's all the shit is real simple to pay attention to, fellas. But you know, just some about weak dudes, they can't pay attention to that shit. It's some, I don't know what it is. They just they fall for anything.
Had left the building. I can't explain it any better than that. She just sounded like that other version of herself. Removed, irritable, miserable, venomous, and completely lost. She was whining about getting older and how much she hated it, how much it depressed her. And I told her to join the club. I was getting older too, a lot faster than she was, but I dealt with it because it was the only option. I asked her to put the kids on the phone and chatted with them about their day. And I told them I loved them and to go to bed and to behave themselves. The next evening, When I called to check in, she was even more venomous than the previous night. Why are you calling me? She snapped. Why am I calling you? To see what's happening. To speak with the kids. You're checking up on me, aren't you? Why would I be checking up on you? What have I got to check up on you for? I don't want to talk to you, she said. Well, I don't want to talk to you either, I said. Put the kids on the phone. Man, it was weird. This was not the Nicole I'd known and loved for the better part of 17 years. This was a whole nother person. At that point, even an idiot could have told you that drugs were involved. You don't get mood swings like that from eating Wheaties. I called again a couple of days later to talk about the Miami trip. Don't ask me why, but we discussed it, and I thought it was still happening. Maybe I was still hopeful. After all, less than a week earlier, I'd called her mother to tell her things were going great. And they had been going great. So it seemed a little strange.
On her mother, things are going great, ma'am. I'm very optimistic and things are paying out. It's paying out proper for me. Me and Nicole and the kids, we went to Cabo, we went here, we went to Miami, we went there, had a great weekend. Now she's back tripping. Like, what? I don't know what it is. She's got me all over the place.
Just to give up on her? What about Miami? She snapped, that edge in her voice again. Well, we've got to figure out the flights and stuff, I said. I don't have time for this shit right now. Stop hassling me. Hassling you? How the fuck am I hassling you? I'm trying to plan our trip. Well, this isn't the time for it, she said, and she hung up.
Yeah, she either getting pipe or she's in the mood of getting pipe, or she's getting set up to get the pipe, or she's in a whole other realm of feeling another person right at that time. Remember, everything's a moments with women, fam. Everything is moments, and the right or wrong time with women. You never really know where you land. That's why you allow them to hit you up, you know what I'm saying, and be on your line and be at you about certain things, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to certain things, you know what I'm saying. You allow them to get at you. When you show some kind of a jovial spirit and you open it up to hitting them up like you want to make things happen, and she ain't really on that because she could be on another kick with somebody else, or she could be on another kick or not fucking with you, or whatever the case may be. That's why he received those ups and downs like that. And not only that, alongside her toying with him just as well. So OJ didn't know these things. A lot of the older guys don't know this kind of shit, fellas. And and they act out in violence. They talk with using hands. You know what I'm saying? They talk with threatening and raising their voice and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? When that ain't the game, you teach the bitch by putting her on ice and getting rid of her.
The next morning, early, my phone rang. It was her. Hi, honey. Did you sleep well? Do you have a big day on the set? Holy shit. What was I dealing with here? She called me again the next day to tell me that she had spoken to her mother, who had agreed to come up the following weekend to take care of the kids while we were in Miami.
She called him the next day when he was on the movie. Said, hi, honey, did you have a next? He said, holy shit. The extra day you was throwing off. You was angry. Now the day you back cool, yeah, she busted her nut. Let me see. We say Trey Trader. What he say? We man was ready. We man was ready. What you mean by that? Pedro, the new era of music. Man, if I was OJ with the money, fuck Nicole. I'm taking a trip to the islands with the coconut water in my hand and kick back. Facts. Macking on all the bitches over there, because they over there just as well. They everywhere, man. Bitches, I think they under the sea. I think mermaids, I don't know. I don't think mermaids really exist, but shit, they could. They everywhere. Pedro, the new era of music, give me a wine, bitch. Facts. That's what you do. Yeah, OJ was on some other shit. He too busy focusing on some nigga that was toying with him. And yeah, like I said, this could have drove him out of his emotions and did. I don't know. Like I said, we got this is 4, we got 5 and 6. 6 is the last one, and then y'all can draw our conclusions after all that. Traded that midget. Let me see. Oh, that midget is Wee Man. Oh, Wee Man. That's his name? Wee Man? That's his name. I didn't never knew his name. Oh, okay. Wee Man was red. That's his name. Wee Man. Trader Pedro. Want a Samoan. Hey, shit. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Shit. I like shit. Nigga, them Samoans, bro. Hey, one thing I like about Samoans, bro, them motherfuckers. If you into that nice thickness, shit, they come like that. well equipped, nigga. Shit, and they know how to move them hips. Some more women, bro. They go.
But at that point, I was no longer interested in going to Miami with her. I felt like a goddamn yo-yo. What do you mean we're not going? She said. Why? It's just too much of a headache, I said. I'm tired. It's not worth all the flying. She could see I was bullshitting her, and she knew it was because I'd finally had enough of her crap. OJ, don't do this, she said, whimpering. It's not me, it's Faye. She's doing drugs again, and it's really bad this time, and she has me really worried. And Cora and Ron are having trouble. Their marriage looks like it's falling apart. What do you mean? I asked. Why? I don't know. It's complicated. I felt bad about Ron and Cora. They were good people, and Cora was a genuinely terrific human being. I didn't feel all that bad about Faye, though. I'd always felt she'd been a terrible influence on Nicole, and from what I was hearing, those influences were only getting worse. I'm really stressed out by all of this, Nicole said. I know I've been a little on edge lately, but it's really not my fault. That was kind of the last straw for me. Nicole was always blaming other people for her fuck-ups. When she had me, it was me. Now that she didn't have me, it was the people closest to her. We're not going to Miami, I repeated. Don't do this to me, OJ. I was really looking forward to it. I'm not doing anything to you. I just want to get through this shoot and come home. Are you saying this isn't working? Christ, what was I supposed to say to that? Wasn't it obvious? Well, I said, I'm not feeling all that optimistic. And if you honestly feel it's working, then something is really wrong with this picture. I guess I was trying to be honest, and maybe I was a little too blunt about it, but maybe she needed that bluntness to get her mind around the situation. When I got back to L.A., I knew almost immediately that it was over. The other Nicole had won. She came by the house with the kids and immediately got into another argument with Cato, calling him a useless freeloader, and worse, right in front of the kids. It was scary. Her entire face was transformed by rage. Later, when she was somewhat calmer, and I was trying to pull the story out of her, trying to figure out what had set her off, she told me that Cato wasn't doing his job. He never helped with the kids anymore, he never ran errands, and he didn't return her calls when she most needed him. You've got to kick him out, she said. I told her that she should deal with him herself. Cato was her problem, not mine, and I suggested that she should back off a little. I think he's actually been looking for a place to live, I said. She looked at me, pissed, shaking her head from side to side. You don't give a shit what happens to me, do you? You're wrong, Nicole. I do give a shit, but I can't fix everything. Man, I'll tell you, I was really looking forward to Mother's Day. It was time to bail. From that day on, I tried hard to keep my distance. The only time I saw her was when I was picking up or dropping off the kids, or on those rare occasions when she herself dropped them at Rockingham. She didn't look good. She looked tired and strung out, and she seemed to be getting progressively worse. She seemed beaten, in fact. When Mother's Day finally rolled around, I can honestly tell you, I had never looked forward with so much pleasure to any Mother's Day in my entire life. A year earlier, also on Mother's Day, we had decided to try to save our marriage, and we had given ourselves a full year to do it. Now the year was drawn to a close. And that weekend, we drove down to Laguna. I had a house there, and the Browns lived nearby in Dana Point. On Saturday, Nicole and I went out to dinner, and I basically told her it was over. To be honest with you, it wasn't a big deal. She knew as well.
He was back and forth with her, back and forth with her, back and forth with her. Come on, man. Oh my God, man. I can't see how guys can be just focused on one bitch. I couldn't do it, man. I just couldn't do it. And it's depressing. It's bringing you down. It's costing you money. It's costing you employees and things of that sort. Fuck no, man. I couldn't do it, bro. This man could have saved himself a lifetime of pain, bro.
Well, as I did, it was over, so this was really more of a formality. Maybe we tried to get back together too soon, she said. What do you mean? That maybe we should have stayed apart longer. I should have worked on myself a little more before asking you to try again. Well, you know, now that you mention it, that's my one concern, I said. What? You. I want to make sure you're okay. I'm fine, she said. and she changed the subject. Suddenly she was talking about Cora Fishman again, and about the complications in her marriage.
Make sure she okay. And then she don't give a fuck about you. What the fuck? You make sure that you're okay, but she don't give a fuck about you. She'd done all these allegedly. You know, this is his book, so allegedly she's done all this shit to you, man. And and you still making sure she's okay. That's why she's still toying with you. She's gonna toy with you and toy with you. And a bitch will do this for the rest of your life, fellas, if you got no boundaries. You got no boundaries, guess what? Shit. That's easy for her. That's a piece of cake. They love a man with no boundaries. They love a man who don't give a shit about himself. Because they can come in and they can walk all through your life controlling you. Just that simple.
I feel kind of bad about it, she said. Of all the couples we know, Cora and Ron had the best marriage. She also talked a little about Faye Resnick, who was having very serious problems of her own. She was still messing around with drugs, apparently, and her boyfriend had finally read her the riot act. He's really pissed, Nicole told me. He thinks Faye is out of control. What do you think? I asked. It's not good, she said. When the food came, we must have looked just like every other married couple in the restaurant. We sat there eating, not saying much. From time to time, I'd reach across the table with my fork and spear something off her plate. The next day was Sunday, Mother's Day. We went to church with some of Nicole's family. Denise was there with her 6-year-old son, and Nicole kept dogging her. Why is he wearing a black shirt and black pants? What kind of outfit is that for a little boy? And in church, no less. Nicole was venomous, full of rage and anger, and I kept my distance for the rest of the day. By nightfall, the bad mood had passed. We drove back to Los Angeles to her place on Bundy, and I went inside and helped her put the kids to bed. Well, I said, looking at her, and feeling kind of sad. It's over. I know, she said. We went into her bedroom and made love. We both knew it was going to be the last time, and that this was our way of saying goodbye. It was actually very nice. We fell asleep in each other's arms.
Oh.
In the morning, before the kids were up, I slipped out of the house, went back to my place on Rockingham. It was time to get on with my life.
Oh, hell no. He said we made love, we fell asleep in each other's hands, we did this, we did that. It was time to get no. Fellas. Check this out. If you're not fully emotionally detached from an ex, if you ever was to rekindle or hook back up with an ex sexually, like, share, and subscribe. Y'all hit the super chat, hit the membership button, yeah. Like, share, and subscribe, hit the super chat, hit the membership button, hit the Patreon, hit the PayPal, hit the Cash App, and hit that Rumble. See the banner at the bottom of the screen. Go to the description below my about section. You'll see my number there. Text me, videos, or whatever the case may be. Text me. The motherfucker be trying to call too. It just hit me up with the text first. But yeah, man, fellas, when you try to rekindle something, or if your ex try to rekindle something with you and y'all had, and you know the sexual chemistry is there, then that's the sexual chemistry, fellas. You cannot intertwine your sexual chemistry with your emotions, and you actually having, you know what I'm saying, this relationship mindset, and trying to, move off the sex and into back and trying to make things back where it used to be, fellas. That's going to drag your emotions all the way in. You got to keep it at sex and keep it where's it at, and stay on that detached form, fellas. You got to stay detached. If you do things like that, it's best to stay detached, or otherwise don't fuck with your ex again. Because if you go back and fuck with her, it's going to bring in those feelings. It's going to rekindle the things y'all used to go through and what y'all had, especially if you had years with her, fellas. And it's going to re-spark some shit. You ain't gonna want to see her move on and go fuck with another person. And it's a chance she ain't gonna want to see you fucking with multiple women, and things of that sort. So those things can be emotionally driven, and they can bring down the whole situation that's going on. So stay detached if you're not all the way equipped at being detached, man. Just stay detached, stay all the way away, get away from her. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you set up to where you good and everything is good for you, and you can't get attached to her, and those days are over with, it's strictly about sex, you can really just move on. And I guess you can do what you do, fellas, because it's really about you and how you can can control yourself and how you handle yourself. And a lot of guys can't handle themselves going back to their ex because it's gonna bring back those feelings, and that's what it could be. And those feelings can be, it can be, it can be, it can become fatal, fellas. Real shit. And in a situation like this, we're gonna say we don't know if he did it or not, allegedly. But hey, shit. Like I said, when we get to part 5 and 6, the last two parts, and they great come up here shortly in a couple more days, and you guys get to draw your conclusion from there and see what it is. But I know for a fact that when the emotions and feelings come back in, fellas, and she's not strictly about you, she's about other guys and other things. She's all over the place. You kind of lost her in that realm, but you can still fuck with her sexually here and there, fellas. And if you're trying to have a sense of control over, you can't act out in violence. You can act it because you don't know what else to do, and you got tunnel vision focusing on this bitch, and that can bring you all the way down. So you want to watch that. Let me see. Pedro Nowhere Music. Hey, facts. Trend Trader. LOL. Trend Trader. KC. Did I send you in what? WACP lately. OnlyFans leak. No, you didn't send me that. No, send you probably, if you did send it, I don't know. My phone ain't by me, it's on the charger. So I have to go check it out if you did. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, fellas. Shouts out to Pedro, shouts out to Trend Trader and everybody else that came by that didn't come through and tap in like they should. But hey, it is what it is. As long as you guys come through and show me the support, I'm with it. Much love to everybody for coming by, showing me the support. And yeah, remember, all the links are in the chat, the banners at the bottom. And until next time, fellas. Let me see. Incoming. Let me see. Incoming. Oh, okay. Trend Trader. Send Pedro the link too. Okay, I'm gonna send it to him. I got you. All right, and salute. Until next time, fella. I'm out. Much love.